Welcome back. It's always great to see our friend Ian Shelton from Price Cutter, Lilly's Florals. But before we get to it, I just got word that it is our dear friend Samantha Vaughn's birthday today. Sam Vaughn of Price Cutter, our dear friend, happy birthday! Happy birthday! On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday! We love you, Sam, so much. We hope you have the best day ever. And now let's switch gears to, maybe we could get some flowers for Sam for her birthday.
Yeah.
At Lilly's Florals.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Okay, Ian, thank you.
She's probably got a dozen orders or so.
So, Ian, it's great to see you.
Thank you. It's good being here.
And I kind of am enjoying what we're going to talk about today because we talk about Lilly's Florals and everything you can do for every occasion. But there is one occasion that we don't sometimes like to think about, but it's necessary.
Absolutely.
And Lilly's Florals can help with these arrangements. Tell us about this.
Absolutely. So I want to start by saying, we see more and more in trend now that cremations have now superseded traditional burial. Oh. So more and more people get cremated, but that doesn't mean that you can't memorialize someone with plants or flowers. And we can always take care of you at Lilly's Custom Floral. So I kind of wanted to show some of the things that we are capable of doing and reminding our viewers that send flowers. Send flowers. We have been sending flowers or giving flowers for millennia for those who have passed away. Some of the archaeologists and some of the very first graves ever excavated have remnants of flowers in them. So it's something that we don't want to lose the tradition of. It's part of our human history.
Yeah.
So in mind of the cremations, I wanted to kind of show an example here of something that one could do for somebody who has an urn or a box. It depends on what your personal preference is whenever you purchase it. But here's an example here where I've just used some things that look more natural. And I even put, you see a largemouth bass in there, just to kind of customize it. So we can always customize it for the individual.
That's very important too, because a lot of people want some of those personal touches for that loved one because it almost makes it feel like they're there with you because it's something that they loved. I know we've done that with my family members, with my grandma and a piano because she loved music and played the piano.
Yes.
So we've done similar things.
And a lot of us designers enjoy having that kind of, one, it's a challenge to incorporate something into the piece, but it's also fulfilling. And that is something that is great to mention, that if you have someone that's passed away or you're memorializing them over a few years or whatever, it's great to go into maybe some of their belongings that they've left behind and bring it to us and let us incorporate that so it gives it that personal custom piece.
Ian, you just took my question.
Okay.
I was going to ask if someone wanted to, maybe a piece of jewelry, maybe what
knick-knack.
have you,
Knick-knack. Yeah.
You can incorporate that and then they can keep that forever.
Absolutely. And in this digital age, if there's photographs of them online, on Facebook or whatever, you can go to Walgreens, you can print that up and also have a stand with a picture of them. And so this makes it very easy and very custom and very personal.
Yeah.
And then down here to our viewers right, we have an easel there. There's another example of a piece that one can send. And we have great diversity amongst our designers, and we have great diversity amongst our flowers, so we can customize anything.
It's gorgeous.
And, yes, and I thought of you down here.
I love this one. I love it so much.
I made that yesterday out of sansevierias, some sheet moss, some lichen, and some rocks all around the local area.
So I love the way you've done that, and these plants will continue to grow in this, correct?
Yeah. You could all you have to do is water them occasionally, and they'll do just fine.
Yeah, let's get a wide shot of that, just because that's so beautiful. It's so unique. I would love. That's just a great centerpiece, even for your dining table.
Absolutely.
You have it for the service.
Yep.
Then you take them home.
Yep.
And then you get to remember that for a while, which is so gorgeous.
And it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
And then, of course, vase arrangements. The funeral homes for years traditionally really didn't like to receive vase arrangements too much, simply because they would break very easily. But the funeral homes have now more recently adapted to that, and they're more receptive to it. So bringing a vase arrangement is totally acceptable and quite common now.
It's so pretty. Wow.
I have to say,
yes.
Okay, I don't know the correct terminology, but is this a lily
of
some sort?
Yep,
this
it's an oriental. Yeah.
One of my favorite flowers,
Okay.
and I asked to have them in my wedding, and they were like, well, it's more so for something other than lilies. They said lilies are, so I was like, oh, but I
That's
mean,
unusual.
It just makes me so happy. Like all the color in such a unfortunate dark time can really brighten your day, bring up your spirits,
And they're very common, and they're a beautiful flower. That particular one is a starfighter lily. And, you know, some people associate them with funerals. Probably was that person's view on that. But I say, what's a funeral flower? Because in 21 years of doing this, I've used every flower for a funeral, so anything is possible.
Well, to me, too, Ian, it's about what the loved one you've lost, what their preference was. So let's say their favorite flower was that. You use that no matter what. I don't care if they say it's a wedding flower or a funeral flower.
Right.
Yep.
You're going to use that because that's what the person loved. You know, my grandmother loved roses, so on her casket was tons of roses. Every color you could imagine, just beautiful.
Oh, wow.
That's what she loved.
Yeah. And we had somebody years ago had come to me looking for something for their father's memorial, and she said that a lot of people have a hard time trying to really grasp what maybe I'm looking for, but I was asking a few questions. She said he liked to garden. And so I was like, well, does he have a garden now? And she's like, yes, you know, he just recently passed. So I asked her to go pick some things from the garden and made a basket of fresh vegetables and fruit from the garden that he was growing. And I thought it was quite personal, quite custom, and quite individual.
I love that. And we have some stuff on the floor too here.
Yeah. So of course we have many plants,
I love those.
different styles. We always finish them, we polish them, put a ribbon on them. So there's some examples of different kinds of plants.
Oh, look how beautiful they are.
There's a combination of plants down there in one of the pots, and we've also got blooming plants. You see the orange mum down there, and just our traditional green peace lily.
And I was going to say, when you mentioned the customer that you had where you made the fruit and vegetable basket, what about these? I mean, these are awesome. Sorry.
Yes. So many of our Lily's Custom Floral departments have different kinds of things that you can select from. Of course, you're welcome to bring it in. And if not, we have things like this. And if you don't see it, talk to the designer, because many of us can purchase that relatively soon, relatively fast, to be able to customize it for whatever service it is. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean that we can't get it.
And usually funerals are kind of, unexpected or last minute.
Correct.
What's the turnaround time for a funeral service?
Many times we can do it same day if it's something that we have in stock, or if it's late enough in the day, we can do same day on funerals. And also we can just do it in a day or two if you know ahead of time.
Thank you, Ian, so much.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, you guys, Jeremy's rave review is next. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
I'm so glad you talked about that, because a lot of people would think, we're thinking weddings,
Yeah.